Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each personal month forecast for June 2023. Before you listen to your personal month forecast, make sure that you check the calculation because it is different from calculating the life path number. So you want to make sure you're listening to the right one. Now, this, of course, is a general forecast. If you want to get more specific and look at your own personal numerology and your own personal forecast, go ahead and book some time with me. I would love to take a look and to work with you. My information is in the description box below. All right, let's take a deep dive. Personal month 5. So if June is a personal month 5 for you, you could see some shifts, some changes come in for you all this month that really has this sort of feeling of needing space, of needing your freedom from something, right? Whether that's if there's a relationship where it's felt too restrictive, or a career endeavor that's just felt too restrictive or mundane, or too routine, you could feel the urge to switch things up this month. So just be careful of not throwing the baby out with the bathwater type thing. But definitely honor that need for variety, for change, for shifting, right? Like for switching things up a little bit, doing things a little bit differently in your routine, right? Making a little bit more spicy, so to speak. Doesn't mean that you have to uproot your whole life and quit your job and totally change your life direction. That's not what, this is a very short cycle, right? It's only a month long. But when this energy comes through, it's definitely here to shake things up a little bit. It's here to get us out of our day-to-day routine so that we can see things differently, so that we can experience new things, so that we can expand and grow and evolve, which is really hard to do if we're sort of stuck in our comfort zone, right? So you might see some things come in like a lightning bolt that just is an awareness that once you see it or feel it, you can't go back from that, right? And so now that shift or that awareness creates the desire for some kind of change, right? So I would say just try to keep a level head about those changes that you make, right? Some things are divinely guided and by divine intervention and, non-negotiable. And so those changes, you just got to be adaptable and go with the flow if a big shift comes in for you this month. But if it's just a feeling like I just need to shift things up, or opportunities come in for you to make adjustments or changes or shifts, before you go all in, so to speak, just make sure you stay level-headed and grounded, so that you don't just completely uproot your life and then come next month, have a little bit of buyer's remorse. So, honor what comes in for you, where it is that you want to make some shifts, where it is that you want to make some changes, but try to keep your head about you as well. Now, one thing that I will also say is the 5 energy can bring in sort of this sort of urge or deep desire for change or a different scene, right? And there can be a level of escapism as well, like the need to escape, again, that day-to-day routine or your responsibilities or whatever the case may be. And so just check in with yourself, right? Just make sure you're asking yourself those questions. Is this something that I really want to uproot and change? Or is this something I just need to, spice it up a little bit? And, am I trying to escape the situation or disconnect from the situation or avoid the situation? And if that's the case, why, right? Because there's probably something deeper to be looked at there, the root cause. But yeah, if it's just something where you feel the urge for a little bit more freedom or a little bit more space or a little bit of to be able to express yourself with more creative freedom, this is a great month to explore that. And you will absolutely be supported in doing that. Now, June 3rd, we have a full moon, and this is highlighting the energy of the 3 for you all. So this is actually incredibly beautiful energy when it sort of collides with and coincides with the energy of the 5. So 3 energy is very creative. It's big energy. It's playful. It wants to, play in the fields all day, and it wants to create and, paint, and I don't know, just it's very creative, very big childlike energy, right? It's very much attached to our inner child. So you could feel around this full moon that you feel a lot more creative and that you want to express yourself creatively, or you might have big creative ideas that you want to put into play, right? That you want to launch, that you want to start. Great energy for this. This is also great for communication, for sharing ideas, for getting your ideas out there. I would say this is a great energy as well for assisting you in switching things up a little bit, right? Like changing the routine, doing things a little bit differently, feeling more inspired to make some changes in a very creative way. The 3 and the 5 together can get into a lot of trouble, right? Because again, they're both very big, fast-moving, expansive, childlike energies, right? Want to explore life with all of their senses and experience life with all their senses. And so when we have those two together, like you all will around this full moon, living in excess can be, or living beyond one's means can come into play, right? So I would say definitely around this full moon, just make sure you're honoring those, each side, all sides to yourself, but you're doing things in moderation as well. But this can be a incredible period for creativity, for expressing yourself, for making some changes that help you to move forward in a way that feels more freeing, right? So definitely honor that. As well as communication. This is a great time to express yourself, right? Okay, and then June 18th, we have a new moon. And for you all, this is bringing in the energy of the 9. And so when we have the 9 sort of coupled with this, the 5 cycle that you all are moving through, again, you could see some kind of closures, some kind of things falling away, some shifts, some really kind of putting the pressure on or highlighting things that are no longer working. And how can you make adjustments? How can you shift things, change things up a little bit so that you can create space for new things, right? While again, not going overboard and not, again, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So the 9 energy is going to probably bring in some kind of push for closure, completion, endings. Again, clearing the clutter, getting rid of what's not working, and making space for something that is working. And then the 5 is helping to usher in that change, right? And then you're the one that has to decide, okay, what stays and what goes. If it's not something, again, that's sort of divinely guided and that's non-negotiable. But just be prepared for things to close out, right? For there to be some endings, and that's okay. Just sort of go with the flow, be as adaptable as possible, move with those punches as they come in, and they don't have to be punches, right? It can be things that you're just tying up things with a nice bow, and they're complete now, right? That contract is over. Creating space for something new. So that can be really beautiful as well. The 9 energy also allows for receptivity, things coming to you. So see what opportunities come to you now. See what new adventures come your way. What is it that you want to say yes to? What is it that you want to say no to? But the 9 energy can bring in new insights, new opportunities, new realizations as well. It's not necessarily the time to take big action on them, although you may want to. You might feel that push and that fire because of that 5 energy. But this is the time to let it come into you and then sit with it, explore it. Definitely explore it and see what works, what doesn't. What do you want to keep? What don't you want to keep? What do you want to explore further? Because this is a new moon. So you've got like this energy of completions tied with this new moon energy of new starts. So this is a great time for planning, right? For getting your ducks in a row, so to speak, for taking those new insights, those new ideas, those inspirations and planning out what it is that you'd like to do with them, right? This is a great time for that. And that 5 energy is going to sort of give you that confidence or that push to make the necessary changes so that you can implement these new ideas, these inspirations. So incredibly beautiful, very creative, very freeing energy this month for you all. Take advantage of it for sure. All right, take care, everyone. Bye for now.